Hey YouTubers, that's MJ. I'm Mark. What's up guys? So today we're going to be talking about this. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You might be thinking to yourself like, what are you talking about? And I'll give it a second, whatever. Anyway, we did a video on MJ's channel. I'm going to link it in the description section below, so you should go check that out. It was literally an epic video, basically right off the top of our heads. And I got to say, like, I'm still reeling from that like discussion that we just had. So please make sure to check it out. Anyway, we are going to be talking about today whether or not Dragon Ball Super itself can survive after the events of Z. I mean, literally, what happens when Dragon Ball Super, because it's happening. Toritaro's talked about this recently in an interview where it's, we're getting close to the end of Z. We can't really kind of avoid that forever. Characters are being born, people are growing up, people are being referenced. All of this stuff is basically leading us to that particular point. They're not going to retcon it based on what he said. But, Dragon Ball Super also is a very, very popular property. It's not going to be ending anytime soon unless they want it to, which I just don't necessarily see happening. So the point is if we get there, MJ, if we get to the point where Dragon Ball Super literally has to uproot itself and take us from where we are right now in the 10-year time skip into the future after Z, can it survive the transition? And I know a lot of people are saying, well, of course it's going to survive the transition. Of course, because at that point we have Pan and Bra and Goten and Trunks and Oob and everyone else who's going to potentially be someone who can be of interest, or some fighters, some character situations. Obviously, we still have Kaba, Hit, Caulifla, Kale, Frost, Jiren, Topo, the Pride Troopers, everybody, really. But, and I preface this, the one thing that really changes from this is that we know Goku and Vegeta, from where they were at the beginning of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and even in the Buu arc, are completely different people. I mean, not necessarily the fact that Goku still likes fighting, he still wants to fight Oob when they're done training, and Vegeta's still willing to go fight, but they have really kind of domesticated themselves. They've slowed down. Goku's way more of a teacher than he is. Obviously, in the last couple episodes of Dragon Ball Super, we saw him talking to Dende saying, I can't necessarily go train Oob because that's not who I am. Well, obviously, at the end of Z, that's who he is. And based on the logic that they said, Saiyans only live or in their prime until about 80, Goku and Vegeta are, knocking on that door at the end of Z. I mean, it's still, for the most part, 20 years out for them, maybe a little bit less based on how many times they go into the hyperbolic time chamber, room of spirit and time. And I'm just wondering, would Goku still be the focus? I mean, could you still have Goku be the focus? Dragon Ball GT ran into this huge, in a huge way where they wanted Goku to be the focus, and then they basically wrote off characters that were given huge buildup, like Oob or Pan or Trunks or Goten or any of these other people they basically introduced. Are we going to see, if it gets to the end of Dragon Ball Z and has to move forward, the same kind of Goku and Vegeta show, or is it going to have to evolve, and should it? And if it does evolve, do you think it could survive the transition away from Goku? So I know that's a lot, MJ. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that is a lot, man. Thank you for that. I mean, I'll just say this. I think it can. Now, what I mean by that is when you look at it from, and like Dan likes to say, when you look at it from a fourth dimensional view, like I'm looking at Dragon Ball as a whole right now, like on my keyboard. I'm looking at the timeline. I'm looking at how it's going to look after End of Z. There's many different variables that would allow it to, to succeed. Obviously, Goten and Trunks. You have them, getting stronger, or per se actually training with Goku and Vegeta. You have Oob, who should be introduced, as a fighter and as a complete trained, fighter by Goku. Then, of course, you have Pan and Bra, who they always have the window for the female Super Saiyans because we saw the Universe 6 do it, And I always said this in my head, like, I forgot why we talked about this, but I always said that even for some reason, Toyotaro, like the manga, the Super manga doesn't want to continue past Z. Maybe Toyotaro wants to pay respects to, Toriyama Sensei, and he doesn't want to go past the story, so maybe he goes and works in the Dragon Room and does, the spin-off mangas. If that happens, you bet your ass the anime is still gonna go past it. Like, there's money to be made. There's ways to do it. However, though, as far as would they be willing to, rely on these other characters and evolve past them, I'm not too sure. Because, yes, they can make Goten and Trunks stronger. Yes, they can give Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2 or 3 to Pan and Brawl as they get older. Yes, they can do stuff like that, have Oob be like as strong as Goku, however they want to write it. The problem with that though is when you go back to the Batafu arc, I pretty much like that arc. I know people are gonna hate me for saying that. I like that arc up until Vegeta and Goku showed up, because for one, it was about the kids. For two, my favorite guy was Monaka. He was in there, bro. And then you had Jocko and the Galactic DJ, bro, running them tunes. So, and then of course the actual story behind that arc, it reminded me so much of Prince of Darkness by John Carpenter. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch it. So I am a bit biased toward the whole concept of the superhuman water, but I always felt that them throwing Goku and Vegeta in there really hurt the arc, because it was like a blatant like Majin Vegeta ripoff, and it kind of told me that they don't see Goten and Trunks as guys who they can actually put a whole arc onto, like onto their shoulders, because they wanted to bring Goku and Vegeta in there. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure how the ratings were. I don't do that stuff. I don't know, go check that. But it's like, that to me really hurt the story. Because think about it. They were in a scenario where Goku was really coming off a key disease. You had Vegeta who was like, training and stuff like that. They literally said, fuck all that noise. Let's grab them and then throw them in the Batafu arc and let's have Goku versus Vegeta again, I didn't like that. So that does scare me. Does Toei look at Goten and Trunks as, or, would they look at Pan and Brawl and Oob as guys that can carry it? I'm fine with them continuing, Super After Z and making it a full-on sequel to Z. And having Goku and Vegeta there. I'm fine with everyone loves Goku and Vegeta. I'm not going to complain. It's just that I feel like they should probably start focusing on the other characters like Goten and Trunks. I just don't think they'll do it. You know what I mean? And that kind of sucks, because I would love to see a Goten Trunks centered arc. That would be pretty badass, especially when they're older and they're looking more jacked and stuff like that. I would love to see like a Pan adventure with Brawl. It's just like, I don't know if they would actually be willing to put their chips on it. You know what I mean? That, at least is my opinion. I don't know what you think.
I mean, yeah, I think it really does run itself into some problems. I mean, with the way Dragon Ball Z ends, Goku literally leaves to go train Oob. I mean, you could write something in there. Sure. I mean, you could write, oh, we're gonna go train. Oh yeah, but then like the Galactic Emperor, the new Galactic Emperor, that's not Frieza, but is someone else, basically comes in and invades Earth, and then Goku and Oob have to take over and take care of it. Vegeta shows up. You could do that, but you need that thing that Dragon Ball GT did, where you take kind of a 5-year break, and then you kind of show back up, and Oob's a lot more grown up. He's super jacked, and obviously Goten and Trunks are still grown up, or now they're their own real characters, whether they've been training or not. Pan and Brawl are still they're old enough now, or at least old enough to the point where they're basically what Trunks and Goten were at the end of the Buu arc or something like that. So I mean, it's just so much that they could do, but they're not necessarily doing. I feel like, yeah, if Goku and Vegeta are there and they're the center of the show, then I feel like you get a little bit more animosity from the fan base. And this is just from me. I don't necessarily know about anyone watching this video, but personally for me, I feel like you would find that animosity where it's, why not Oob? Like, we waited for Oob. You talked about Oob. Why not Goten and Trunks? I mean, now they're old enough to do something. The only reason they're not in this tournament is because Goku was like, yeah, but they're not experienced enough. Like, they haven't had enough time to train, or they haven't been in enough situations, which you and I talked about before is like some kind of like bullshit, because they were perfectly okay with them taking out Buu, but I guess time for necessity.
Not to mention, even though like 17 and 18, yeah, 18 may be stronger than them individually, but I mean, it's like, would it have lied and have like a Super Saiyan Gotenks, who could like who could last for like 15 minutes, and once they get poofed, that they'll get disqualified. But it's like, I'm just saying, 17 and 18, they haven't exactly been in that many tournaments either, so they're not really experienced tournament fighters like Krillin or Tenshinhan,
Exactly, and I definitely don't understand that. That's a completely other discussion topic. But what I'm thinking is yeah, like, there's so many, like, this whole show, we haven't really seen much from Brawl yet, but Pan has gotten so many moments where it's like, man, she's gonna be hard. Like, she is going to be absolutely terribly strong, to the point where it's not fair for anybody. And Yeah, like if they continue to focus on Goku and Vegeta, then they're going to sweep those people under the rug. Basically the same thing they did in Dragon Ball GT, and just look where that got us. I mean, I understand GT had its problems, but I think one of the things was like, yeah, it just became Goku's show, Goku time, and that hurt the property because it's like, as you grow, as you develop these characters, the same way that we were talking about earlier with Goku having to literally take the role of mentor, the thing they're building to, the point that they have to get to. If they get to the end of Z, he has to be in that mood. He can't literally take the rings and just go save the Earth anymore. Goku hasn't been like that since the Cell arc. He hasn't been like, well, Super's kind of retconned that a little bit, but I mean, since the Android arc, basically, it was just like, Gohan can do this, and then it was like Goten and Trunks can do this, and now, even right now, he's sitting there going, I can't be a trainer, but we got Gohan on our team, so we're gonna be fine. Like, there's this situation where if you have too many characters that Goku has to focus on or has been training, at the end of Z, he's training Goten, he's training Pan, he's gonna go train Oob, then he has to basically ignore all of those pupils of his that he's basically been helping over the last couple years, and just go save the day with Vegeta, and they're gonna ignore all these people. I feel like a lot of people would have a knee-jerk apprehension to that, and I'm wondering, just in general, can it survive getting past that, where they're going to have to either, like you said, focus away from Goku and start building these characters who might not have the same marketability or the same excitement from the fan base, or they're going to have to ignore those characters entirely because you can only do so much. And I wonder. And it's just to me, it's an interesting question. I don't think there's really an answer for it, but honestly, just your thoughts, and then basically anyone who's listening, commenting wise, I guess I want their thoughts as well.
I mean, to give Toei some... I can't even really give them that because it's like they tease it, but they don't follow through with it. What I mean by that is they tease Goten going to train with Goku on Whis' planet, which that's a fun theory. How strong would Goten be if he actually win? Because Trunks kind of cock blocked him. Trunks was like, "No, stay here and train with me," So it's like, can you imagine if Goten actually went over there? He would have came back like fucking solar system busting and shit. No. But anyways, it's like maybe they could do it because, like you said, they tease so much stuff. They've teased the filler stuff, or I guess Super doesn't have filler, but they teased the what are they called, slice of life episodes? In the slice of life episodes, they teased the Pan stuff. You know what I mean? Her against the peel off machine, like her as a baby was more than enough to handle the peel off machine, and was in space. You know what I mean? Whereas Goku, like when a car hit him, he would just get all woozy. You know what I mean? So they're really playing Pan up. Pan is a powerful baby, you know what I mean? And I can only imagine how that's gonna move forward. And then of course, like they've teased the stuff with Trunks and Goten. Like Trunks keeps saying throughout the the arc that he wants to keep fighting, he wants to do this, but it's like every single time he wants to train, something happens. And whether it's like future Trunks comes or whether it's like the baby being born, it's like, but he constantly wants to train. Goten was about to go train with Whis and Goku, so they're teasing it. And I mean, think about it like this. I'm gonna paint a picture. We get maybe a reanimated episode or a recap episode of the end of Z, whichever Toei wants to do. Imagine this. It's like episode 148 or 150, right? And it's like you have this. It's like the return. Oh, let's do it. Episode 150. Son Goku and Oob enter the new generation, right? Have some shit like that, right? So it shows Goku and Oob on the lookout or the heavenly realm, training the room of spirit and time, because remember, they're not banned, Vegeta is. So you have them training in the room of spirit and time. They're going at it. You have like Super Saiyan Blue Goku and like a much built Oob, like they're just going at it, taking shots. Goku's having the time of his life. It switches to a gravity room, and it shows Vegeta just training with Brawl. But see, here's what I want them to do, though. You have Brawl and Vegeta training, but get this. She's a mixture. She has the brains and the brawn. So you have her kind of maybe like Vegeta fucks at the gravity room. So it ends that their little scene ends off with Brawl fixing it. That would be badass because she's like Bulma and she's like Vegeta, so she is kind of girly. Maybe she has like a nicer outfit on than Vegeta, but she's also real techy, but she's also strong. That would be badass. Then it skips to like Pan at her house doing whatever she's doing, training on her own.
Pan has to be the embodiment of Goku, like Kid Goku. Really, she has to be kind of bewildered and like really kind of excited about everything. Everything is just so new and experience. Like she wants to adventure. She wants to explore.
I'm gonna pop it right here. It goes to Chi-Chi's house, and it shows Pan at Chi-Chi's house, not at Gohan and Vidal's, but at Chi-Chi's house. And remember the very first episode with Goku fishing, and he's on that the little thing on that rock rolling? Imagine Pan doing that. So you have that going on, and then get this. This is going to pop you right here. You skip to Beerus and Whis, and it shows someone in an orange gi, and it shows someone in a training outfit, and you're just like... And then it zooms in, and then it's Trunks and Goten just boom, 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 going at it, right? And then you have like Whis just like, no, you gotta keep your key in, blah blah blah, like that. Having an episode like that would legit pop me. Just like introducing everybody, like, dude. That would like pop me, right? And then Beerus is like eating, his pizza. You can't become gods of destruction, of like that, and then Trunks is like, shut up, and him and Goten are just going at it. So that would be so badass. Like, it shows what everyone's been doing after the time skip. It shows that Trunks and Goten are older. It shows that Brawl isn't just like a Vegeta or a Bulma. She's a mixture of both. And then it shows that Pan is the embodiment of Goku, blah blah blah. And then of course we can go from there. But I think that would be a real cool comeback episode,
Mm-hmm. No, I think that, God, that'd be so cool. That does pop me. A lot of that just pops me. And like, yeah, like, yeah, like, and one thing you could do with the Pan thing is her also chasing she needs to be chasing the saber-toothed tiger, because that's something they did with both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, was like Goku was chasing the saber-toothed tiger and Gohan was running from it. So Pan needs to be chasing it. And like, oh man, there's just so many possibilities and so many cool things. Even with what you were saying, like Goten and Trunks, like they're fighting, and hell, you could even have like the Pilaf gang there for whatever reason, and Mai is like cheering them on, like cheering Trunks on, but like they're fighting dirty, they're fighting like old time friends and everything like that, and like and it'd be great to end that scene too with Goten being like, "Hey, can you take me back? I got a date." Like, and it's like showing it like they're not necessarily their fathers, but they're their own characters, but they still fight. I mean, the thing is, you need to show that they still fight, because it's a shonen. They're going to be like, they're going to literally I don't even know how to put it. Like they're going to have to fight in order to be relevant. And then the one person we're forgetting here. I mean, what would you have with Gohan? Gohan, like, okay,
it's hard to say.
Here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. We're a couple years now past the ending of Z. So free game. The one thing I have to ask, like, is Videl pregnant again?
Possibly, because if we go off the end of Z, we know that what's the reason that he doesn't enter the tournament? He doesn't want to fight anymore. I guess so, because that would kind of show that he's more, I guess, of a settled down man. He's more at home and work. He's not necessarily out in the fields or in other planets training, So I guess that could work, where maybe, Videl's pregnant again, I think that could work, That could definitely work.
Here's what you got for Gohan, right? Gohan, he has his own baby son now, for whatever, he has a son, and he's going to work. For whatever reason, he has the kid, and as he has the kid, like someone's robbing a bank or something, he turns into the Great Saiyaman. He goes and he throws the kid up into the air, stops the bank robber, and catches the kid.
That would be badass.
Like, that would be like, that's Gohan. Like, that's obviously Gohan. And then you also have Boo and Hercule just chilling and all this other stuff. This is like the ending of Z I want to see. This is great. This is the ending of Super, really. This is great, honestly. I think, but that's the point. Like, is that the ending of Super, or is that like the beginning of something new? Is something else, or is that the end of the series?
I would hope that's the beginning of something new. Like, it's yeah, it could play off as the ending, but again, Toei, money, marketing, there's so many variables that go into it, and most of it are positives, and most of it tells me that they would continue the show. And I mean, that would just be badass. Like I said, that would be such a cool comeback episode. You have the Gohan stuff. You can even have Krillin show up, like he's still working on the job.
You could have Marin. You could have Marin doing something too, considering she might be stronger than we think.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can have Marin there, and I really love what you said about Goten and Trunks. How when they're fighting, like Trunks is like, okay, or like Goten's like, all right, I'm done with. Take me back there if I got a date like at 7 or something. So you have you keep it consistent with what we saw in the Z, but you also keep it shonen style where they're fighting. Oh, and I would also love this too. You have Mai cheering on Trunks. It shows Pilaf and Shu like with Beerus eating pizza, and then like Whis is like, aren't you guys gonna get up and train too? And like, this is our training. And they're just being complete lazy, but it would be cool. There's so many moments you can go with it. I just think that would be like a great comeback episode. It could be the start of a new generation, the start of something cool. Like I said, even if Toei doesn't want to pull the trigger on these newer characters and do something with them, and they want to still keep it Vegeta and Goku like it's the main cast, I mean, just going off of what they've done with the Tournament of Power and what they did with Trunks, Future Trunks, and the Future Trunks arc, they could still do stuff with Oob, Goten, or Trunks or Pan in certain future arcs moving forward. They could still make them, I guess like a big part of it. They just won't be the main. The main part, like how Goku and Vegeta are, which I guess some people would hate, some people wouldn't, because some people still do love Goku and Vegeta. I mean, they're not going to change that much during the time skip. They're still going to look what they look like, at the end of Z. You know what I mean? So they could still be there to help fight the villains, which I guess is fine. I would love it if it focused more, especially on Oop. That's the one thing that really pissed me off about GT was Oob, because it's like once the 17 arc started, he was kind of just shoved down as he was just like a buddy to Goten and Trunks, which is fine. It's just like, he was already like weaker than Vegeta, so on and so forth. He became like fodder. So it's like, I hope they do something with Oob, at least him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, well, he took up so much relevance at the end of Dragon Ball Z that he just kind of felt like such a letdown in GT, and that was really their fault. They really can't make that mistake again. But that's the thing, like, you have so many characters you want to focus on, but you still have to focus on Goku and Vegeta. So anyway, guys, I think we're going to end it at that. Tell us what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Please make sure to go check out MJ over on his channel. Like I said, I'm going to link that video that we did very recently. It should be up by the time this video is up. I'm going to link it in his space. Make sure to go check out that video. Go sub to him. Check out all of his content. It's really awesome. Congratulations on hitting 10K, by the way. You'll probably be at like 12K by the time this goes up.
Shut up, man.
Anyway, guys, don't worry, guys. So with that being said, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe onto this video. Share it out to all your friends. We want to hear everything that y'all have to say about this, all your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to hit that bell over by the subscriber button, because that's going to notify you every single time I upload, and you're not going to want to miss anything on this channel. But with that being said, guys, I hope everyone has a good day. It's been real.